Welcome back to the shooting channel and welcome back to another episode. And in this episode I have got a game gun and I've got a sporting gun, and I'm going to show you the difference between these two guns. There are quite a lot of differences, and the biggest difference between the sporting gun and the game gun is a sporting gun generally is heavier, because for clays generally you want a heavier gun so you don't throw the gun halfway across the sky. On a game gun, you want, a lot of people like a game gun lighter, so when you're walking around a pheasant shoot or anything like that, it's not as heavy to pick up and lug to the drive. But what I'm going to do, I have got a 525 sporter and I have got a 525 game gun. And what I am going to do is I'm going to go through from the back to the barrel about the differences between these two guns. So I'm going to start with the sporter. So generally, this particular sporter, it is a 525 sporting gun, 30 inch. This particular sporter has got an adjustable comb, and then I have got a 525 game gun, 30 inch, identical. It's still a 525, but there is a lot of differences between them. And at this time, this is where I would say, don't buy a gun from a gun shop. Find your local shooting school. If you're looking to buy a gun, walk into your local shooting school, book in a slot, book in a time and say, I want to buy a gun. This is what I want it for. This is my budget. And then they will help you at your shooting school, and they will take you the demo guns. They will take your demo guns out and they will take you to shoot those guns before you buy that gun. Or they will go through the rack and they will find the one that fits you, and then you can go out and try that specific gun. So this is why I say, if you're looking to buy your first gun or your second gun or your third gun or your game gun or your sporter, find your local shooting school. Don't go to your local gun shop. Find your local shooting school and phone up and go and speak to the experts at your shooting school rather than your gun shop, because they have got the facilities to walk out of that shop to take you out and try on the various different targets. So I'm going to start with the 525 sporter. Starting from the back, it has got the Inflex recoil pad. It has got the adjustable comb. On a sporting gun, you are looking for those finer details to kill those extra 1 or 2% of what you're trying to get. So with this particular sporting gun, you can move this up, down, left, right. Pistol grip. Again, generally, the sporting guns will generally come with a slightly bigger pistol grip. Adjustable trigger. So you can move this. Again, when you mount that gun, you want to, sometimes, again, this is what your shooting school will help you with. Sometimes you want the trigger forward, sometimes you want the trigger back. It just depends on how you fit that particular gun and how you mount that gun. Safety catch, same as what's on the game gun. Again, you've got selective, so you can pick overbarrel or underbarrel. I'm going to be honest, for sporting, if you want my opinion, I would shoot underbarrel first. So if you've got that gun and you shoot underbarrel first, the recoil comes out there. On the overbarrel, the recoil comes out there. So it makes the gun jump, makes the gun have a bit more muzzle flip when you shoot the overbarrel. On the game gun, and if you're shooting a simulated day or a flush, if you've got a loader, a lot of people will prefer to shoot the overbarrel. It helps the loader to put the gun in. But if you're looking at it out and out for clay shooting, winning competitions, try and shoot the underbarrel first. Coming on to the barrels, this particular one has got matte black barrels. It's got ventilated barrels and ventilated ribs. Now, the reason why clay shooters want a ventilated barrels is because generally you will shoot a lot more cartridges when you're practicing. Some of these top-end clay shooters will shoot 50, 60,000 cartridges. They'll go out and they'll shoot, in a day, they'll shoot 2-3 competitions and they'll shoot 150, 200 birds. The barrels will get hot. So it does cool them down when you've got ventilated barrels and ventilated ribs. This particular one is multi-choke. On a sporting gun, generally, you can get external chokes and you can get internal chokes. On the game gun, you don't generally. They don't like, on a game shoot, they don't like having the external chokes sticking out. But they're all multi-choke, majority of guns these days. This particular one is a wider rib. Now, if you mount that gun, it looks like you're looking down a motorway, and that's because the rib is wide and it's wide all the way up. Sometimes on the gun you have it tapered, but this particular model, the rib is the same width, the same millimetre all the way up, and it's wider. And that helps you to look down that gun there. So again, if I mount that gun, helps you mount that gun there. So a sporter will have a wider rib. Yes, you can have a sporter with a high rib. Generally, a lot of sporters, we're talking about flat rib guns at the moment. And the other thing is the weight. So these particular guns, this particular gun, 525 Sporter, is about 8.5 pounds. On a game gun, it's about 7.5 pounds. So generally, a Sporter is generally about a pound heavier than what a game gun is. So that is the difference. That is what you get with a sporting gun, 525. So now we're going to look through the game gun. Again, Inflex recoil pad, the same as the one on the Sporter. Generally on a game gun, you don't have adjustable combs because people don't need to actually have that absolutely perfect fit when you're looking at game shooting. They just want a high comb. So generally you won't have that adjustable comb on your game gun. Selective safety catch, same as on the Sporter. Again, a lot of the game guns now, when you open that gun, the safety catch comes off. When you close that gun, you have to physically push it when you're ready to fire. Whereas on the sporting gun, it doesn't move at all. And that's generally, so let me repeat that. So if you open the gun, the safety catch comes back onto safe as you open the gun. When you shut it again, you have to push it forward. Again, personally, I prefer the sporting side of it. I think a closed gun is a loaded gun, and I think that way is a lot more safe. But the old traditional game shooters do like it, so you have that safety catch always on safe, and the only time you will push it forward is when you're physically going to shoot. Going into the trigger, again, you can look, this hasn't got an adjustable trigger, again, because generally game shooters aren't that fussed about the movement of that trigger. This particular gun, the pistol grip is slightly smaller, and again, it's little things like that it takes the weight out of that gun. Moving on, you've got non-ventilated barrels and non-ventilated ribs, and that's because generally when you're going game shooting, you don't shoot that amount of cartridges. You'll shoot a drive, go into the next drive, it's got time to cool down. And then multi-chokes, internal multi-chokes. Again, the rib on game guns are always narrower, and that is another thing of how they take that weight of that gun. And again, if you fill that gun, you can move it a lot more when you're doing it, because when you're stood on a driven pheasant, on a driven drive, you want to move a lot more, whereas on the clay gun, you want to be a bit more steady when you're shooting. So that is a general difference with a game gun versus a clay gun. And I'm just gonna, the other thing I will mention is, again, if you look at each gun, generally, when you look at the game gun, you will have engraving on it, because a lot of people do prefer the engraving. When you look at the Sporters, a lot of the Sporters are now coming out with plain actions like that. So again, if you look at each one, and that's generally because when you're looking at the game shooting, they want game Sporters, generally people look at them as a tool for doing the job. A game gun, people generally look at them and they want something slightly nicer. And that's generally why a game gun will come out with slightly nicer wood on it, better engraving, that sort of thing. On generally the 525 range, the same as the Silver Pigeon Berettas, the engraving is machine engraved, it's not hand engraved. So that is the difference between them. So if I put them side by side, you can actually look, if I start it like that, and I will move it around, so you can see the difference with wider rib. So again, the rib is there. It's the same all the way through. The same with on the game gun, it's narrower all the way, same width. And again, if I turn it around like that, you can see the engraving, slightly different. The triggers, this is the adjustable one, this is the non-adjustable one. And you can actually see the pistol grips are slightly, the pistol grip on the Sporter is slightly thicker and slightly bigger, whereas the pistol grip on the game gun is slightly smaller, and it's just a little bit more finesse when they build the game shooting guns. And then obviously adjustable comb, non-adjustable comb. So again, if I pick this up, you can have a look, a very close look at the gun, if I put them down here side by side actually, the pistol grips here, the diameter is actually smaller here than what the diameter is here. Checker in, very similar. Checker in, very similar. Wood, very similar. The Inflex recoil pads, the same. So that is generally what you get when you buy a game gun or a Sporter. But again, that doesn't necessarily follow, the rule doesn't follow shoot game with a game gun, shoot game with a Sporter, shoot clays with a Sporter. This is where, depending on the person, this is where you need to find your local shooting school, and they will help you to pick the right gun for the right person and make sure that fits you. So again, it can happen. There's a lot of people that shoot clays with a game gun and shoot game with a gun. I shoot actually my XS Pro, my old XS, I shoot all my game with that. So because I feel comfortable with it and it fits me and it does the job. So again, this is something that your shooting school, when you go to get your gun fit, this is something that they will help you with and work from there. Any questions on what I've gone through? Any questions, if you've had any questions of, do I buy a game gun? Do I buy a Sporter? Please comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you think the difference between a sporting gun and a game gun is. I hope you've enjoyed this program and I hope you found it interesting. I just wanted to, I've seen a lot on YouTube at the moment, a lot of people talking about things on Facebook, and I just wanted to clear up what the difference was between a game gun and a sporting gun. And they're virtually the same. If you pick a Beretta Silver Pigeon or a Browning 525, there's very similar differences between the guns. Weight-wise, rib-wise, adjustable comb, anything like that. I hope you've enjoyed this program. Please like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button. It really helps us to give you content like this, and hit the bell icon, and they will tell you every time we release a film. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.